Hello, everyone. Coming up here, as you see right here, the matches that we're having for the NXT Ring Report. I'm your host, Kendra Dix, here, telling you what's going down. We got a lot getting to where we see a tag team match, you see a championship match, a grudge match, and a couple other matches announced. We'll get to the NXT Ring Report. Can Braun Breaker and the Tommaso Ciampa coexist as a team? Only time will tell on that. Plus two, Becky Lynch, the man, the Raw Women's Champion, showing the effects of what had happened when she got whipped with Bianca Belair's hair, showing those welts as she's working out. We'll get to the latest. Speaking of Ciampa, Ciampa even wrote this lengthy message about fans were criticizing him. I mean, fans were criticizing him on a lot of stuff. They was criticizing I mean, it was to the point that the fans were like, "What the world? Why the music? Why the video is not showing?" I mean, it was that to the point. We'll get to that. Plus, two, WWE announces that they have a new partnership with A&E. This tells you a lot. We'll get to the latest. But we're gonna get to a lot going on, even a lot. So let's get started with the NXT Ring Report. As you see right here, Tommaso Ciampa and Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker dressing like Ciampa. I don't know if this mind games or what in the real with that. I guess Braun Breaker wanted to be a Steiner for a day, and Braun Breaker kind of did when he teamed up with Tommaso Ciampa. But Tommaso Ciampa teamed up with Braun Breaker to take on the team of the Dirty Dogs. Braun Breaker and Tommaso Ciampa teaming up together. I don't know what's going on with that. All right, let's show you our new opening for the Pro Wrestling Show. All right, we showed you the new opening. We glad, we kind of love it, we like it. Thank you all. Like I said, and I forgot. First thing first, join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling Here on Connect, and don't forget to subscribe. Subscribing is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on the Pro Wrestling Show. We present the NXT Ring Report as we get back to what we were talking about. Braun Breaker. Um, I don't know if they're gonna wrestle at Stand Deliver. Who knows? It's a possibility. We had to wait and see on that one. But speaking of Tommaso Ciampa and Braun Breaker won their match. Braun Breaker, Tommaso Ciampa continue on that momentum, heading into what I call a roadblock. We know that what next week there'll be Tommaso Ciampa team in a triple threat match. Braun Breaker defends his championship against Tommaso Ciampa and Dolph Ziggler for the NXT Championship. So I guess Tommaso Ciampa probably playing a lot of mind games tonight, dressing like Braun Breaker and trying to get inside the champ's head. So we'll see on that. Also, too, we see LA Knight trying to get inside the head of Grayson Walker. Grayson Walker and LA Knight still having their issues ahead, so only time will tell on that. Well, how far they're going. It's going to be a match that Stand Deliver. Also, too, Toxic Attraction. They're the NXT Women's and Tag Team Champions. Sitting in the house tonight. Mandy Rose looking lovely as ever with her hair. So Mandy Rose continuing on her goal and stuff. Who's going to challenge her? Who's going to challenge Toxic Attraction for the win the Women's Dusty Cup? Also, too, Karen Cho and what's her name? They make a obvious duo. Karen Cho and Dakota Kai winning their round of Dusty Women's Cup, advancing as well as um the I forgot her name. She looks like she was want to be Wendy Williams or somebody, but she won her match, so she's heading towards it. Also, too, Gunther went against Sora Sakai and defeated Sora Sakai in an instant, getting himself over. I don't know if they're gonna have a match at Stand and Deliver. Who knows what the possibilities are and stuff. We'll set the wait and see. Plus, too, Joe Gacy introduced Harlan. Harlan was in the match. Harlan won his match, and after the match, Harlan hugged his opponent and got the win. Harlan trying to be dominant and fierce. We'll see how Harlan does in the near future. We have to wait and see. Also, too, Cora J and Raquel Gonzalez get a win after their hard works of training to advance in the Women's Dusty Cup. We'll see on that one how they're going far. Also, too, Von Wagner was in the ring as well. Von Wagner showcasing his power moves as a big guy. Von Wagner, who knows what he's going to do later and now. Plus, too, Kamalo Hayes defeated Pete Dunne to retain his NXT North American Championship. Carmelo Hayes was standing on the sign behind him. NXT Stand and Deliver. So Carmelo Hayes was going to face Hayes when he comes to North American Championship. Only time will tell on that. But Carmelo Hayes ended the show. And we're going to end the ring report right now. So that was the ring report. Let's quickly move over to Hot Topics on Hot Topics this week. Speaking of Tommaso Ciampa, we know Tommaso Ciampa will compete against Braun Breaker in the triple threat match next week on the NXT Roadblock. I don't know when they came up with that. Well, a lot of fans took issue to Ciampa's music. Ciampa gave a lengthy post about his music. I mean, you can say that, and then when he comes back, when he gets released, then he's gonna feel some type of way about the music. Well, Ciampa gave this saying that he liked the new music and it was time for the music to retire. And the fans felt like the WWE changing too much stuff around. Well, we had to wait and see on that, but we keep an eye on that. Speaking of that, we know this week we're looking forward to the interview when Mr. McMahon will sit down with Pat McAfee, and we just don't know what's gonna go down. Mr. McMahon sit down with Pat McAfee. He said to start the feud with McAfee and McMahon. A lot of people were saying that McMahon was slated to wrestle at WrestleMania. This man is 78 years old. He almost 80 years old. I mean, what does he have left? He's still working now, running a business. You don't need to be wrestling to sell tickets. And that's what Austin Theory. We told you that on the Raw Ring Report. If you follow up on the Raw Ring Report, check the Raw Ring Report in your archives. But Mr. McMahon, the highly anticipated interview that he does with Pat McAfee, I'll be watching. We hope you'll be watching Pat McAfee's show to see what's going to go down this Thursday. McAfee interviews Mr. McMahon. We don't know what kind of questions McAfee is known as like a shoot questions later and just answer. So we just don't know. We had to wait and see on that. Speaking of this art, featuring McAfee, Michael Cole, and Roman and the fans, and I guess it was a nice art that Roman Reigns saying SmackDown is his. All that. We'll see. Speaking of Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch, if you would have saw what happened on Raw last night, Becky Lynch received a big whelps on her side when she got whipped, and I mean whipped by Bianca Belair. Becky Lynch received the receiving end on that, what she had to deal with Bianca Belair. Well, Becky Lynch showing the after effects, working out the next morning with her with the whip bruise and wound. So Bianca Belair may have done enough damage to Becky Lynch. We just have to see Becky Lynch gonna recover and how she's gonna refocus on that going forward. Speaking of that, Cain Velasquez, who was on WWE, he's been arrested and been in jail. And Cain Velasquez was arrested. So I don't. We're still getting information on what's going on. Cain Velasquez, who challenged for the WWE Championship against Brock Lesnar when SmackDown first debuted on Fox, is now in jail. You say that going forward. So how that be? Speaking of that, WWE announced that they have re-signed with A&E to produce 130 hours of content for the A&E with WWE Most Wanted Treasures and biography. WWE did do Most Wanted Treasures and biography with legends such as the Ultimate Warrior, the Macho Man Randy Savage, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Booker T, who Booker T did a WWE A&E special. Booker T, today is his birthday as well, so happy birthday to Booker T, who just turned 57 years old. But speaking of that, WWE creating a lot of content, and content is king if you're WWE. Speaking of being released by WWE, Swerve, Shane, oh, I forgot, Shane Strickland, he's gonna be in the ring. He's gonna wrestle forgot Zayn and Swerve. They're gonna wrestle at SuperCon Honor for the Ring of Honor. Reloading, Ring of Honor trying to relaunch again. They're relaunching with Swerve. So this is nice going. Let's see if Swerve's gonna be Ring of Honor. We just have to wait and see on that one. Going forward with that. Well, and finally, we know tomorrow is TB on Dynamite on TBS. The huge six-man tag team matchup, six-man tag team action. As Hangman Page takes on Hangman Page teams up with John Silver and Alex Ruiz, the world heavyweight champion. Hangman Page goes against number one contender Adam Cole and Red Dragon a couple of days before the Revolution event. So we at the Pro Wrestling Show will have the Revolution predict the outcome this weekend for you, so you can see who's going to leave out Revolution with the championships and the rivalries. We'll have that. So for me being Kendrick Dix, we're going to leave you with this showing for the AEW Ring Report. So me being Kendrick Dix saying so long. We see you next time for another edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. See you later.